What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Swisher coming back at you, you know what I'm saying, with my own Texan thoughts and like Texan beliefs. Now, I find it funny, that, and I'm gonna get real with y'all for a moment, you know what I mean? And I'm talking to you, the Texan fans, you know what I'm saying, when I ask these questions and when I say these comments. First, I want to start with my question before I even get to what I'm about to talk about. And with the look on my face, y'all can pretty much guess what I'm about to talk about. Now, as I scoured the net, NFL mobile and all that, I come across, what's the word I'm looking for? I come across moments and certain phrases that are just out of the ordinary for me. It's skeptical. It makes me think. Like if for all y'all that have the NFL mobile app, go on to and I'm talking to the Texans fans. Go to the Texans webpage, and where they're talking, it's a 5-minute video with Bucky Brooks and two other dudes, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about, who would you sign, Cuddy, Cap, or draft, and, they talk about color, and, why he should and shouldn't be the QB, when he was when he was on the team that had talent, they somewhat did all right, you know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, a quarterback that had Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, and Alshon Jeffrey and couldn't, put up 12 wins, I'm sorry. You're not going to do that with Hop Fuller and company. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in it. To not, not trying to piggyback off of what Bucky Brooks was saying, but his attitude, it just wouldn't fit here in Houston in Bill O'Brien's system. That's just point blank, period. Second, he's a turnover machine. So, there's that. And then on top of that, his ineptitude to take his team that was talented, further than what they were, where they went. He never amounted to it. So, then they got to, Cap. Well, actually, first they talked about Savage and, how they think that Bill might roll with Savage, which I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it won't happen in any way. Not saying that I don't support the idea. But the issue that I have with everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean even the sometime ass Texan fans that watch my videos that claim they love the Houston Texans. You claim you want to see a Super Bowl, be hosted by, not hosted because we hosted one last year. What I mean, hoisted, you know what I'm saying? You want to see Houston hoist a Lombardi trophy, but you don't want to go and get the players that are required to get you there. Now, again, and just like I've said in my other videos, and just like how they said in the video on NFL Mobile, Cap was literally a throwaway from becoming a champion. In my personal opinion, I would have, if I'm Cap, I understand that the play is drawn and that throw was designed, but when you're that close to the goal line, I'm sorry, I'm using my football IQ and my football mind here. Jim Harbaugh, I blame that loss just like how I blame Seattle fully. That loss to New England completely on Pete Carroll. I blame that loss completely on Jim. And here's why. When you got an athletic freak like Colin Kaepernick, leverage matters. When football is a game of inches, people. Like for y'all that don't really truly understand the metric of fucking football, it's a game of fucking inches. If you can outmaneuver the next player in front of you by a couple of fucking inches, guess what? You create a fucking running lane. It may not be the biggest of running lanes, but It's a fucking running lane. And guess what? Had New England, I mean not New England, had San Francisco, had Jim called, say a jet sweep QB counter. Now you've got, basically you got you got a guy coming in motion off a jet sweep, which defenses will have to respect because this man is running full speed. He's viable to go out and catch a pass. That's taking one more defender out, out of the box. And again, remember, this is the Super Bowl that I'm talking about. And look, remember how close they were to the end zone that had this play been called, Colin Kaepernick is now a champion. You know what I'm saying? But I find it odd that people on NFL.com, they call me stupid, on my other videos and, my other social media networks, I got a lot of Kaepernick haters, saying that I'm disingenuous, I'm biased, and all that. And guess what? I'll admit I am biased when it comes to the fact that police were murdering people of my skin color, Mind you, those men were unarmed also. I just thought I'd put that out there. You know what I'm saying? I can feel where Colin Kaepernick's coming from. Now, has that happened to me personally? No, I haven't been shot by a cop, but I've had my fair share of fucked up moments with the cops that was highly unjustifiable. You know what I'm saying? So unless you had that happen to you, you can't sit here and say that even though he clearly came out and said, I'm not protesting, for against the military or anything like that. I'm protesting against racial injustice in this country. Yeah, you guys clearly want to throw him under the bus talking about his stats and, he's disrespecting America and shit like that. It's bullshit. And you know it. You're just looking for a reason to hate the man because he spoke out on an issue that is a real issue. Back to the football analytics of what I was talking about. Now, back to that play. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with, the jet sweep counter QB run. Now, like I said, with that guy motioning out, the defense will have to respect and send a man out there with him, running with him, because the ball can be snapped and he's running full speed. He can go out and catch a pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's one defender you don't got to worry about. Then you have, you got pulling. You have you would have a guard and that's probably the center, depending on how how your tackle will probably, down block, to try to wash that in, inward. And you got your center and your guard pulling. Now, that play action, it plays into that because now teams are, like I said, they think he has the ball. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, you can run this from a split back formation, in the gun. And when as you're running the play fake, you got a guy that's just sprinting out. That other guy that's next to the quarterback, he's just sprinting out to go block. Now you have an extra guy basically blocking for the quarterback. You have two running backs basically blocking for the quarterback. You run that play, Cap's now a champion. We're not having this discussion and all this other bullshit. But, back to the issue at hand, like I said, one throw away from being a champion, one throw away from going back to a Super Bowl. And yeah, all I can hear you guys on, whether it's NFL.com, these other, morning shows and whatnot, FS1 is about the only one that I haven't really heard just run Kaepernick into the fucking ground. Oh, and First Take as well. Everybody else is literally just ramroded this dude, you know what I'm saying? Consistently talking about his stats and how he's been on the decline and whatnot, but correct me if I'm wrong, The man threw 16 touchdowns and 4 picks last year, and he came in as a backup. Now, for, again, talking to you Houston Texans fans who, and I'm not going to lie, I put myself in this category too because I supported Brock Osweiler. I got plenty of videos going back, especially the one when he came back and led the victory against Indy. I was all behind Brock. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he flamed out, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, like a real football fan of a team, you know what I'm saying? I lick my wounds and I'm ready to move on. Now, what I'm ready to move on to can possibly get me what I want, what you want, what Bob McNair wants. Super Bowl ring. Super Bowl championship. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what more needs to happen? You know what I'm saying? What more needs to be said and proven? You know, to give a guy like Cap, an opportunity. Like that, another idea, that another analyst was saying. He wasn't an analyst. He was just a talk show guy. So he was like, if I'm Cap, I'll take a Michael Vick like deal when he got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And I know this wouldn't be what Cap would want, but I would do a year, a 1 year, $1 million deal, a prove it deal. Fuck it. What's the worst that can happen, Cap? What's the worst that can happen? Other than you flaming out, and everybody actually being right about, you being, not above average quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst that can happen. Now, the best things that can happen is you revert back to that 2012, 2013 version of yourself, and now you're leading a team back into the postseason. You know what I'm saying? See, and then what I also find funny that, I think it was Jeff Saturday video I was watching a little earlier. They was quick to point out how everything was built around Cap, and that's why, the team was successful. Last time I checked, football is a what? Team sport, right? So how can you sit here and say because the 49ers had Patrick Willis, Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, all those monsters on fucking defense, that excellent offensive line, Frank Gore, you know what I'm saying? They blaming Cap, like that was his fault that the team acquired those guys. And they're blaming Cap for the fact that, when those guys left, all of a sudden the team's success went downward. That's not Cap's fault. That's management's fault. But you as America want to condemn Colin Kaepernick for that. Y'all want to say that's his fault. Well, I'm going to tell you this, Houston. And I'm really speaking to Bob McNair on this one. You want a Super Bowl ring? Let Colin play for $1 million. And Cap, with that $1 million, continue your cause and donate that shit. You know what I'm saying? That'll truly let people know that you're not just trying to get an NFL job, that the money that you just got, you know what I'm saying, you donate that to Somalia or something, people won't be able to say shit, man. They won't. Man, this is your boy Swisher, you know what I'm saying? I just needed a moment to really just not vent, but talk about that issue, you know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, whether it's genuine hate for this kind of topic, or if you support and you feel where we coming from, But as usual, like, sub, and peace. And as always, go Texans.